On June 23, 2025, the quiet night skies over Doha were suddenly shattered when Iran launched a direct missile strike on the US-operated Al Udeid airbase. The attack came without warning, catching many off guard and sending shockwaves through the region. This marked a dramatic and dangerous escalation in already simmering regional tensions, as emergency sirens wailed and the city's skyline was lit up by the flashes of defense systems responding to the threat. Within hours, Tehran openly claimed responsibility for the strike, declaring it a direct retaliation for recent US airstrikes on its nuclear facilities. Iranian officials appeared on national broadcasts, framing the attack as a bold message to Washington and its allies that Iran would not hesitate to respond forcefully to American military actions. The selection of Al Udeid, the largest US base in the Middle East and a critical hub for American operations, was both symbolic and strategic. By targeting this base, Iran directly challenged the US military presence in the region and put immense pressure on Qatar and its Gulf neighbors to respond. For the people of Doha, the night was one of fear and uncertainty. As air defenses roared to life and missiles streaked across the sky, the city, long seen as a symbol of stability and prosperity, was abruptly transformed into the front line of a major international crisis, leaving residents anxiously awaiting what would come next. Qatar responded immediately, suspending all air traffic in and out of the country within minutes of the first reports. The sudden halt left airports eerily quiet as flights were grounded and departure boards flashed with cancellations. This rapid action was not just a precaution, but a clear signal of Qatar's commitment to protecting its people and infrastructure. Authorities closed the nation's airspace, ensuring civilian safety and giving military defenses the freedom to operate without obstruction. Military jets quickly took to the skies, patrolling the borders and monitoring for any further threats. In close coordination with US forces, Qatari air defenses sprang into action. Advanced radar systems tracked incoming missiles, and defense batteries intercepted most of them, preventing casualties and major damage to key infrastructure. The government moved quickly to reassure the public, holding press conferences and releasing statements that emphasized the effectiveness of their response and the strength of the US-Qatar alliance. Calm returned to the streets as citizens saw their leaders in control. Qatar condemned the attack as a blatant violation of its sovereignty, calling on the international community to uphold respect for international law and support regional stability. By acting swiftly and decisively, Qatar reinforced its position as a resilient, sovereign nation, one that stands united and refuses to be a battleground for foreign conflicts, demonstrating both strength and resolve to the world. The attack sent shockwaves across the Gulf, reverberating far beyond the immediate site of the incident. In cities from Doha to Manama, the sense of unease was palpable, as governments and citizens alike braced for potential fallout. Prompted by both solidarity and a deep sense of caution, Bahrain and Kuwait moved swiftly to temporarily close their airspace. The closures were not just symbolic gestures, they reflected real fears of further escalation and the need to protect civilians and critical infrastructure. Western governments, recognizing the gravity of the situation, issued urgent advisories for their citizens. Embassies heightened security, and travelers scrambled to adjust plans, underscoring the seriousness and unpredictability of the threat. US military forces across the region went on high alert, increasing patrols and fortifying key positions. Their heightened readiness sent a clear message. Any further escalation would be met with a swift and coordinated response. The incident highlighted the complex web of alliances and rivalries in the Gulf, with Qatar uniquely positioned between its long-standing US partnership and its nuanced, sometimes delicate, ties to Iran and neighboring states. The world watched closely as Doha navigated this diplomatic tightrope, forced to balance its own security needs, the expectations of powerful allies, and the ever-present challenge of maintaining regional stability amid uncertainty. The event underscored just how quickly regional tensions can disrupt daily life, grounding flights, emptying streets, and forcing nations to urgently re-evaluate their security strategies in a region where the stakes are always high. Within hours, Qatar began restoring normalcy, reopening its airspace and resuming flights, signaling control and resilience. Hamad International Airport quickly returned to its usual pace, reassuring travelers and the global community. Yet uncertainty lingered as news emerged of a possible ceasefire between Iran and Israel, though details remained unconfirmed. The Iranian strike on Al Udeid was seen as a final show of force before potential de-escalation. As life in Doha resumed, the region waited to see if this fragile calm would hold or if further conflict loomed. The crisis spotlighted Qatar's unique role as a regional stabilizer and mediator, maintaining open channels with both the US and Iran. The US reaffirmed its strong partnership with Qatar, praising its resilience and crisis management. The successful joint defense of Al Udeid strengthened mutual trust and showcased Qatar's preparedness. Qatar's calm, effective response bolstered its reputation as a reliable and capable state. As hopes for a ceasefire grew, the world looked to Doha to help solidify peace and maintain dialogue. Tested by crisis, Qatar emerged as an essential peacemaker in a volatile region,